Welcome back to Championship Sunday.
Hello and welcome.
Reba hits a deadly low reverse, defended by Wu, who's going to swing with her right hand.
Wow.
A soft touch from Plett. That's a double. Oh my gosh, that may be the best rally we've seen.
This is just sportsmanship.
Can't look at him, I'm going to cry.
You know, sensei to student relationship.
Nice up from Rahul, and Nickel sets him, and it's a good pull. Everton with a set. We've an area lefty on two! But it looks like game two is close to being underway, so see if we can jump back into the action.
It get on started. Once again, last game, it was story of a couple defensive touches from Graham and Rogers that just put them over the edge, and a good run, a good serving run from Rogers that really got them going. Once again, it'll be Graham to kick things off. Backhand flick, Graham there with the body defense, but it just sneaks by her. First point, obviously, to Foster and Pierson, who started on the receiving side.
Yeah, sticking with the backhand theme for now, though. It seems to be the least guarded option. All right, you see Graham throwing up a body there, but that's more of a desperation play than it is a strong defensive position, just trying to slide in and cover some surface area as she can.
Pierson to serve, good rip. Graham with the set, and another great put away coming in from Rogers. Really no shot. Defense was just not in position. Didn't see a ton of rotation there from Foster and Pierson. They got a little, stuck in the mud on their, starting positions. But it was, again, a quick 1-2-3 from the defense, so did not have a lot of time to make that adjustment. But already, serve put on the net, and a good push, little drop attempt. Question is, did that double hit or did it clip the rim? Looks like it is called good. So Pierson now will hand the ball over to Foster. Her turn to serve.
Yeah, excellent control there from Pierson on that offense.
Good serve. Nice rip, but it's called high. Just barely. So she'll have to go for the second. Going with that put-on strategy that we talked about, but a little hit on two coming in from Rogers, so she gets the point.
Yeah, the downside of those put-on serves is they're usually easier to receive, and if they're easier to receive, then getting that first touch centered to the net gives Rogers the option to take that too. And we talked about how both teams are struggling to rotate well on defense, even for third touches being their hits, and second touches, Pierson and Foster might not have even taken a step on defense.
Well, speaking of, step out left, and now a set. Ooh, unfortunately, bit of a hitting error coming in from Foster, so Rogers and Graham, once again, they will get their first break, potentially of many, if Graham has anything to say about it. She'll now get the ball again and look to serve.
Yeah, it's a really tricky, she resets, but it's really tricky to assign that credit and blame where that set's not ideal either from Pierson. And so at this level of play, you would hope Foster makes that ball in the net, but overall, she needs to have that set a little bit closer to even have viable offensive options to get the ball put away. And for Graham, it's going to be high. Pierson, one of the smaller players in the division, still probably growing, a high schooler in her own right,
okay.
And somehow a top player too. So Pierson set to take over the sport over the next decade if she continues to grind the way she has the past few years.
Oh, that's a great serve, and just no way that Graham can receive that one. Well played, nice and low. So like you said, the young phenom Pierson, Katie Pierson, making things happen and starting things off good for them, bridging that comeback already. I mean, getting that break that they needed to keep us tied. Even a lead maybe for them.
Yeah, it's serving up one. Obviously, she's favored to lose this point. She's going for another break, but being up, sometimes people will call it the mini break or the half break because she's up that 1 point, and you need that point to be up. You need to be up 2 to have that winning advantage up to 21. So if it were 21-20, for example, she would need one more break to win it. Not in that winning position quite yet.
Well, Pierson now with her second serve, taking the time to get set, rips away and got a good cut. Received well by Graham, and Rogers missing that one. A hitting error on the other side. So Foster and Pierson looking to make a little bit of a run of their own. It's Pierson now with her third serve, looking to chain a third point in a row, but looking good. Both teams with one error so far, hoping to minimize that going forward. It's Pierson, though, up to swing. Once again, big swipe out right, and that's going to connect with the net beautifully. But there's a great offensive touch from Graham. Really no chance Foster could get that one, even with the diving effort.
And just a fantastic set from Rogers. We talked a little bit about this earlier in game one where Rogers was being set up by Graham. This is now Rogers returning the favor and getting the opportunity for Graham to move her feet around, open up her hips, and put the ball between the defense. So good.
Well, Rogers with a good serve, but well received. Here's the backhand, and this time we had a defender there. It was Rogers in place, but the body defense was just, one step off the mark. So tough to get that body defense exactly where you want it. Catching her left hip and the ball is just going to ricochet away.
Yeah, Pierson making Foster look really good there. The set's money over the net, and Foster just gets to toy with the defender. No real chance for that one-on-one matchup to be won when the set's that clean.
Foster now to serve. Rips away, tries to go for the jam right up the middle with all that top spin, but it clips the front rim. So she'll have to go for the second. She's mostly been putting these on, and she'll continue that one, but some good pace on that ball. Once again, backhand attempt. That one gettable, but unfortunately, Pierson is not able to run that down. Just over her head and out of reach.
Yeah, just a miscue on whether she's trying to get the ball on the way up or if she wants to turn her hips and take off immediately. Getting caught between those two options. Very relatable for myself, and I'm sure some others, on how to follow and track a ball on defense playing round net.
Well, drop is successful. Defensive touch is there, but unfortunately Rogers just could not quite get the set after the nice body up from Graham. So Foster and Pierson will take that point for their own.
Yeah, some great pressure, though, from Graham Rogers. They're getting a lot of deflections on balls, which may not necessarily look like they're breaks in the moment, but they apply that pressure to the offense who has to think, I need to make an even better hit next time, and over time that pressure can amount to either hitting errors or viable defensive opportunities for Graham Rogers. So
another
good to build
great
on.
serve, though, from Pierson. She's been doing this well, and a good defensive receive, the drop, and a good tweener.
Whoa.
There goes Pierson with a bit of a play.
Bit of a
taking
flex
the point
there
for
at the
them.
end, too.
Yeah. Feeling good, looking good, and once again, it is their lead this game. Holding on with that one. Good break.
Yeah, Graham went for that same push we were praising earlier, but doesn't get that same contact, so it just flicks off her fingertips, and Pierson no problem getting the dig and easy put away. A little stylish, too.
Pierson and Foster up by 2. Pierson looking to extend that lead as she's been ripping away at these. She'll continue that, attempts the cut. Just cannot quite get it to connect. She'll go for her second. She hasn't been putting these on 2. Most of all, I think she's been ripping away, whereas Foster's generally been the one to just get that ball on and on 2. Maybe a bit of a communication issue or something that they decided beforehand that maybe one player's feeling a little bit more confident, the other isn't. Either way, that's a good second serve, but well received, very well received by
control
Rogers.
From Rogers. Yeah, and to your point, sometimes it's different players having different styles, but also it could be a team strategy of one person making sure if one person's going to go for that second serve and maybe double fault, we don't want to both be doing that at the same time. We want to make sure we at least apply some pressure. Again, it's a really windy day. Rogers and Graham, spectacular offensive players, but we saw a really good dig from Pierson. You got to give yourself a chance to play defense at least every other rotation if possible.
Yeah, the wins just kind of pick it up as we go, and I think going to continue to ramp up as we get into the pro semis, pro finals, women's finals as well. Drop here by Rogers. Good push, good hit there from Pierson.
Taking notes from the 3-time champs and giving a push of her own there, opening up her hips really well and getting her fingers just under the ball to get that topspin so it shoots off the net.
Yeah, first push we've really seen from Pierson.
Yeah, a lot of really strong pulls and backhands for both Pierson and Foster. Not too many pushes.
Foster to serve. She'll step out right. Again, just getting this one on. Set from Rogers is there, and Graham with another beautiful backhand where Foster just could not get her body in the right place.
That's the hit of the match, is the backhand right now. It's not being covered very well, and for good reason. They're probably trying to take away really strong pushes and pulls as much as they can, but the backhand is always open, it seems. Oh.
Well, that's a nice serve. Coming out really low, and Foster just could not adjust. So that'll mean that she's able to take that one out of Foster and Pierson's hands and get a break back, and now they're only down by 1. That one, likely called high, would not have been high on Foster, but on Pierson, that one is at her head level.
Yeah, and not only how you serve as a team, but also think about who you're serving to and what kind of serves you can go for, whether it be for Pierson, if she's shorter, you have to drop the ball on more often or go for more of those put-on serves to avoid rolling up off the back of the net and going high. All those different factors coming to play for these 4 players. They've got a lot of experience playing each other, so playing off of those tendencies is the key to success for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if those of you at home can actually hear the wind, but it is picking up and it is getting whippy. I think our players are taking a little bit more time between the serves, hoping that maybe the gust will die down before they get started. And it looks like Pierson taking her time here, calling the score, ripping away once again, but that one just underneath.
Yeah, my friend Elsa said that the wind is howling, so there's some sort of swirling storm inside this tournament today. I hope I don't get sued for that line, but Pierson might get sued for how dirty this serve could be.
Yeah, well, she will let it go, and she will hit that one straight into the rim. And that ball, again, back to the hands of Rogers and Graham, who will look to bridge this gap. Again, still a 1-point gap, but very well within reach, especially for Rogers now that she has the ball in her hands. She rips away, goes for the reverse, and it's beautiful. Tough receive and a bad put on, unfortunately, from Foster. Very nice reverse from Rogers to open that one up to give them the lead.
Yeah, that stays even lower than the one she had in game one. As you see on the replay cam, it gives a really good angle, getting to Foster's knees effectively. A tough receive for anyone, and on her offhand, too.
Another great serve, but that one a lot better received, and Pierson will just drop that one on. It hits Rogers in the ankles, and she's not able to pop that one up with her foot, so Foster and Pierson get it back.
Graham, Rogers, both former soccer players, but Rogers unable to get that foot up. Just a tricky angle, a bit of a crossover step. And great decision-making for Pierson. Again, going for that defender that's in front of her who has to make a really hard play over trying to maybe get it by the defender. She doesn't know exactly where Graham is rotated to on the pole.
Just a 1-point lead serving. They'll need a break to really stretch that one out. This one, just a nice put on. And again, body attempt coming in from Foster, but that one clipping her in the knees. Really good put on there from Graham. Nice and low. Really no defensive opportunity there for Foster and Pierson.
Yeah, not a few moments ago, down 8-5 now on a 6-3 run to tie things up. Graham and Rogers down the half break, but it feels like they're in the driver's seat with the points coming back their way. They're up a game here in the semifinal match. And Pierson and Foster are just staring down a lot of pressure to take this team out.
Now Pierson to serve, still with a 1-point lead. She's been pretty successful with these serves so far in game 2. She'll rip one away. That one, the serve she's been hitting so far today. Again, that step out right, rip away with that cut, nice and low. That one clips the top of the rim, though, so she'll have to go for it again. She'll step out right again. Generally, we've been seeing her keep that same pattern, regardless of the stance she starts in. This one, she's starting square to the net. There's that step out right, but that one just a bit high. So once again, that will be back in the hands of Graham and Rogers, and tied up when they have this opportunity to potentially get the lead back for the first time in this game.
Yeah, Rogers hadn't made too many lefties. She's got the reverses in this game. So whether she goes now back to the lefty.
Wow, great serve, but a good over-the-head set there from Foster. And looks like Pierson will get a nice put away.
An exceptional backhand flick drop there by Pierson. Really good control.
Oh, but called observer there in the back.
Yep. It's a bit of a disagreement, on the call, whether that was rim or back pocket. Maybe might have been a redo there on the call. If the observer did not have a clear enough view, they just signal for the point to be replayed.
Oh, a great lefty cut.
So that's two strong lefties in a row from Rogers after missing them throughout the series. Is a really dangerous prospect for Pierson Foster to have to deal with.
Yeah, Rogers picking up the serves, and I get getting really creative with the different spins she's able to put on the ball. I mean, we're seeing Pierson rip away at it, get a lot of topspin nice and low, but really it is Rogers right now who's leading the way in terms of that serve creativity. She'll try again, that time ripping away with the left, but can't quite get it done, so she'll go for the second serve. She's been putting these on so far today, and she'll continue that with a bit of a drop, but unfortunately that one is going to be well off the mark.
Yeah, she drops the ball, dropping the ball for the double fault, and it's going to be Foster here trying to answer back with a break of her own.
She'll step out right and whips away at it. Might be high, and yes, called high. Well received by Graham, and again, as a receiving team, you have the option to play that. You don't have to call that one high. You get, again, if you see the opportunity is there, you can choose to make that one happen, but they didn't. Instead, they'll wait for the second serve, and it looks like it worked beautifully. Good set there from Rogers. Graham, no trouble with a low lefty put away across the net.
Yeah, a lot of backhands there for Graham, but this one a little bit further out to the left, not quite over the net, more off center, so she has to reach around the ball and get that hit. Still very clean, well practiced. Of course, Graham has also put in some lefty serves this game, so she's got that ambidexterity capability.
Yeah, terrifying as a receiver when you just do not know if you're going to see a lefty or righty cut come in. You have so much space to cover and so little time to actually react. From the moment that ball is tossed, you finally will know where that ball's coming, but The question is, can you get there in time?
Yeah, a bit of discussion right now about maybe serving rotation or the score itself. Double checking with the observer for a reference. And we're just hoping they get back into the action because the more they move, the warmer I feel here in the booth, Jonah.
Exactly. We just want to see these players get moving. But speaking of, there's a great serve. Good defensive receive, though, from Rogers, who gets it up. She'll put one on nice and low. Pierson with a diving attempt to get the set, but she cannot quite grab it in time. And it looks like Graham and Rogers will take another.
Yeah, Rogers well positioned there for the deep ball, and a really good set from Graham to give Rogers time to get back. And yeah, Foster and Pierson want to talk about that, get their break. They're now down 3, so remember, it was an 8-5 game in favor of Pierson and Foster. It's now been an 8-5 run the other way. So, or actually 11-5 run the other way.
Wow.
Goodness, doing some quick math. Yeah, a lot of points there. And all of a sudden, the semifinals looked like it might have been going game 3 early stages. Now we've got Pierson and Foster just hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, I mean, this is that second game. They do not have any other chances after this one. No lower bracket. They need to win this. And, yeah, they're going to take a timeout. That's why we're back on screen. You're looking at us because Foster and Pierson, they're taking some time to regroup. Last time we saw them do the same thing. You might as well use your timeout. You got 60 seconds to regroup, talk things over. At the very least, maybe you can stop the bleeding. You can stop the momentum that the other team has been able to build. Or maybe come up with some sort of magical solution before you dive back into the game. They're having
just
a
let
quick
the elements take them over as they just have to sit in the
Exactly.
cold for 60 seconds. It's 60 seconds. It's quite literally icing the players at this level of play.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
a little chilly. So for Pierson and Foster, pulling out all the stops they can, trying to talk things over, figure out what their game plan is going to be. But they're going to need it at minimum, just continue to hold. If they let up more breaks, I think it's going to become an insurmountable lead. And the pressure they're applying, they need to continue to go for those hard serves on second because Graham and Rogers way too clean offensively.
Yeah, it's a tough spot when you're down a few points, and especially when the game's on the line. You've got to make a tough decision to just rip away at those serves. You can't necessarily afford to give Graham and Rogers these opportunities because they are not making those mistakes. We have seen only about one hitting error from each team, Graham and Rogers included, really not making much. They looked like they almost got that defensive touch, but Pierson making sure to put it over the left shoulder of Graham so she could not quite get her body up in time.
A really impressive serve receive, too. Graham put that so low that Pierson actually had to drop down pretty low, and Pierson, the shortest player, and then had to get down lower to get under the ball and make a clean serve receive. So fantastic effort using the whole range of her body to make that play.
Well, once again, with a little bit of a right step, and again, swinging away. This time, clipping the rim. So she'll have to go for the second. Last time, this is how Pierson and Foster got a couple of points of their own, right? It was Pierson to serve, and it was a couple of points that she was able to get that, put Graham and Rogers on the back foot for at least a minute or two. They're going to have to find that again, so she'll swing away, and that's going to be well received, though. Good set, but the defense almost in position. Foster just could not quite get that ball, was going the wide way around, the long way around, and just could not reach out and grab that ball.
Yeah, Rogers taking that set with her weak hand puts it a little bit off center and forces Graham into pretty much one position, but Pierson and Foster unable to close that gap where it was going pretty much only one way off the net, given the set. But Graham Rogers rewarded with the point nonetheless.
Yeah, and with this 3-point lead, Rogers looking to stretch that out even further, but a great push from Foster. You had Graham behind her. She knew she didn't want to go for the pull, and you had one person in front of you, or at least on your backhand flick. So she went with the push shot out of reach of both players.
Sorting out the scores. Good thing to have correct before you start playing.
Foster with her second. She'll step out right just again, getting that put on, well received, and another nice backhand flick there from Rogers, catching that front pocket, coming out impossibly low.
Yeah.
But it looks like that may have been called rim.
Bit of a disagreement, yeah. They went to the observer and looked like it just clipped inside rim. The set was a little bit low from Graham, so Rogers had just not enough time to make the play. For her, to her credit, Foster had rotated well to cover the hit, but no need to cover something that hits rim. It's just their point.
Yeah, from our vantage point here, not entirely that easy to tell if it's just clipping the rim or not. It's something that the players have to make the decision themselves, or the observer, who's a lot closer to the action than we are. But it looks like Graham and Rogers, they will lose 1 point, but they will quickly bounce back. Good 1-2-3 put away, so they will still have a 2-point lead.
Yeah, maintaining that critical 2-point lead you need at 21 to win the game and close it out. But like you said, we're just here trying to tell you what's going on. And from a call's perspective, the players self-officiate. And if they ever have a disagreement, they've got a third party, that observer in the background, able to help sort things out and get a good perspective as well at the net.
Yeah, some calls that Observer will make actively, such as, well, if anything, clips the pocket. But both of these hits are pretty clean. No pocket on either of those, including that serve. Very clean. Becca Graham and Alli Rogers, again, clean put away from them. That was defense. Great defense and a good break to put them over the top. And now a 3-point lead, almost insurmountable.
Yeah. After getting that break back right after the timeout for Pierson and Foster on that rimmed hit, really good opportunity to get it back into the game. But like I had promised during the timeout, allowing another break to a team like Graham Rogers, pretty much untenable to try to get back in this game. Now they're down only 2, but they need 2 breaks over the next 4 points or 2 serve opportunities in order to win the game, or even push extra points at a minimum.
Well, Pierson hoping to keep them alive. We saw a great put away from her in that last one with a little diving finish for the flare. And now it's her turn to serve and see if she can continue that on the serving side. Graham should probably know what to expect here. She knows that step out right is coming and that swing away is coming. And, well, it came, but it did not quite find the mark. So she'll have to go again. Calling the score. And now she will likely look to swing away given the deficit. So swing away hard with the right, and it will not connect. You can see the frustration building there a little bit with that game point now, the match point now on the line, semifinal point on the line. Pierson wasn't able to make something happen. It's now up to Rogers to serve. Good serve, nice and low. Pierson, though, good set, and Foster will go with a nice put away, keeping that low, and a diving effort from Rogers cannot make it happen.
Yeah, Graham stayed behind Foster there, trying to stay hidden as the defender, unable for Foster to track her, but didn't really fill that gap where Foster ended up pretty much pushing the ball. An interesting decision as far as how they've got their defensive team set up. Of course, nitpicking at this point, it's late stages, and they're trying to put this series away. And they
there
do.
It is. Looks like Foster and Pierson just were not prepared for Becca Graham and Alli Rogers to actually play that point out. It was a little bit high on the serve, but with that one, they will take the match. Yeah,
that mental error, almost that little bit of hesitation costing you on match point, a really surprising, gap between what you need to be doing at the highest level of play. We see from Rogers and Graham playing super clean throughout that entire series. Really only 1 or 2 small hitting errors, nicking rim here and there, but otherwise really punishing Foster and Pierson for those mistakes and applying a lot of different serving pressure with some reverse cuts, some strong lefties. Really exciting play all around, though.
Yeah, we just saw that replay of that 1-2-3 put away. Very clean, and again, Foster and Pierson put up a fight. They had a good run, again, through the group stage and through the earlier rounds of this bracket, but they just could not close it out. I mean, it's very intimidating going up against Rogers and Graham. Again, the third-place finisher at Nationals this year.
Yep.
Looking good, clearly, and looking to make a 2022 run. So we have got our next game coming up in just a moment, which is going to be our women's final once we get the results of our other semifinal sorted out. But before we do that, we are going to actually go to a quick break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we will have that match sorted out. We will be gone for 5 minutes, roughly, and hopefully we will get our final, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing it.
See you in a moment.